Our first night in California we spent on the shores of Finney Lake. It is a freshwater lake that feeds into the Salton Sea. There were lots of migratory birds, and it was a very pleasant place to spend the morning. Okay, so we're here at the Salton Sea. Bombay Beach, Salton Sea. And this is, it's drying up. So where we're standing right now used to be underwater, and you can see up there where the water level used to be, and now it's all the way down here. So it's a very salty sea. And you can see down here on the ground, all the little fish bones that are on the ground, and it's like limestone in the making. And then on other parts of the beach, it's a very salty, consistently sea, like a little wetter version of Badwater Basin. And somebody's built a swing set and brought it out there because they thought it'd be funny. And there's like a door over here, just a random door. So, yeah. You guys got anything to say? No?
Salty sea.
It looks icky.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. So, it kind of smells like the ocean. So, yeah. Okay, so we're here. We just had lunch and we were in the visitor center for the Salton Sea, and we asked a bunch of questions. But we're standing here on the beach, part of the beach, because there's these really cool salt formation, barnacle, limestoney bits here. I thought it was cool. So we learned a little bit about Okay. Past Grace spent 3 minutes studying, trying to explain how this lake was formed while she was at the lake, and failed miserably. But now I have a map, so I can do it better. So, there's a lot of crazy geology and geography and some human error that made the Salton Sea. I think it's really pretty fascinating. A long time ago, the Salton Sea was actually a part of the Gulf of California. The Colorado flowed into the Gulf of California here. Over time, the delta deposited sediment across the Gulf, cutting off the Salton Sea from the Gulf of California, making them separate entities. Since it's been cut off, it's dried and refilled many times. But at the beginning of the 1900s, it was a dry lake bed, and there was a pretty successful salt harvesting company that was based off of there. But in 1905, a levee on a canal from the Colorado River here broke. It's worth noting that this canal is in Mexico. The borders were a little more fluid and less recognized then at that time. So it was an American canal, but it was in Mexico. It was a little weird, kind of funky. But the canal broke. And it dumped water into the basin for 2 years. The Southern Pacific Railroad was responsible for fixing the damage, but unfortunately they were based out of San Francisco, and in 1906 there was a really big earthquake in San Francisco, and it delayed progress on fixing and stopping the water from flowing into the basin. The sea hit its stride in the 50s and 60s as a tourist destination, but in the 70s, it was starting to recede and the tourism died out. And it's been receding ever since. Today, there's not a single boat ramp that actually goes in the water. Today, they're working on trying to maintain the Salton Sea's size, as there are a lot of migratory birds that have come through there, and in past times when it was dry, there were a lot more lakes and ponds around, but now we're farming there, so they're trying to keep the Salton Sea as a place for these birds to go, as well as tourism. It is the biggest body of water in California, and they'd like to keep it that way. They'd like to keep it as a tourist destination. They're also worried if the lake dries up that it will expose lots of nasty playa dust and affect Palm Springs and other surrounding communities in very detrimental ways. Okay, back to past grace. We learned that the water level has gone up, so you can see up there's cabanas. The water level used to be up at those cabanas.
Above them, but
Past the cabanas, at the height of the sea, and then it came back down a little bit, and it sat there for a while, but now it's gone all the way back down where it is today. I asked the question of whether or not if this lake dried up, it would be lower than Badwater Basin. It's like 7 feet higher. The bottom of this lake is like 7 feet higher in elevation than Badwater Basin. But they don't want to let it dry up. It's on its way to drying up right now. They don't want to let it dry up because of dust that could become in such a populated area, and also all of the birds and wildlife that's around here. We've taken up a lot of their natural habitat with agriculture, and so they don't want to let it dry up because the birds need a place to go, and we don't want all the dust going up in the air. So, I think that's everything we learned. Anything else you think of?
400 species of birds.
Yeah, there's over 400 species of birds here. And it's really a really cool, interesting place. Oh, it's saltier than the Pacific Ocean now. But it's not as salty as the Great Salt Lake.
Or the Dead Sea.
And definitely not as salty as the Dead Sea. There's still stuff that lives in here, so. Yeah, that's what I got, I think.